Harbor has been responding to the behavioral health care needs of individuals and families in Northwest Ohio for over 100 years. One of their many programs seeing tremendous results for those in need is individual placement support. The IPS program is an evidence-based option perfect for those who may need more support and seek work as an important part of their recovery.
You think about your everyday interactions with people. When you first meet someone, hi, my name's Corey. What do you do? That's almost immediately the second question. And that sense of identity and purpose, that's what we're here to help somebody achieve.
IPS is individual placement and support, so it's a more intensive job development program. We have 6 or 7 probably different vocational programs at Harbor. Ours is very intense. They work with one person through the whole program, start to finish, where other programs they might work with like 2 or 3 different people.
My job is very all-encompassing. What I am not is I'm not a staffing agent, so I don't have a bag of jobs where I pull out and say, here's a job. Where do you want to go? You want to go to this place? Okay, here, I've got a job for you. I help people with all kinds of areas of employment. I help them with all their soft skills. I help them with resumes, interviews. I help them to make connections with employers. I can help them with training for areas that they want to go. I can help them to learn how to communicate with their supervisors or, to get accommodations if they need that. And then I also help them search for the jobs themselves and, get to interviews or go to interviews with them, things like that.
Individual placement supports offers a more coordinated support and regular involvement. An employment specialist will help identify preferences, interests, personal goals, and a job goal. Supports are ongoing and services are more intensive as the individual builds the skills to succeed at work. To be eligible, client must have presence of a severe and persistent or co-occurring mental health issue.
It's zero exclusion, so that means if the client comes in, whether they're on drugs, not in treatment, mental health, homeless, if they come to anyone and say, I want to work, they get referred to us. Whether therapist thinks they're ready, whether case manager thinks they're ready, it does not matter. If that client says, I want to work, they come to us. Where other programs, you have to have different stipulations to be able to be helped.
The zero exclusion policy is just the first pillar of Harbor-supported employment IPS principles, which also include the individual's preferences setting the groundwork for the job search, employment specialist helping to make contact with employers while the individual sets the pace, setting the goal for a competitive job in the community that is open to anyone and pays at least minimum wage, integrating their employment with mental health services, time unlimited support for as long as the individual needs it, benefits planning personalized to the individual's needs and goals, and an employment staff who develops relationships with employers in the community based on participant preference.
So job development is all about having a connection with the employers. We exist to help people who are struggling, and if they have employees who are working with us who are struggling, that helps them to be able to, how do you need that accommodation? What do we need to do to create a plan to get you to be a long-term employee? I can talk to a client and they start telling me things and I think, okay, I think that this is going to be a good location to try to help them because I know they're hiring right now and their manager has helped before with helping them to be able to do a job where they might sit sometimes and stand sometimes, or whatever the case is.
My passion was always the idea that you could be proactive with psychology and mental health. You could really help somebody grow and develop. And the best avenue for that anyone has right now is vocational things, helping somebody become more independent, become more stable, more self-sufficient is the best preventative thing that we can do in mental health. A lot of times it's all about helping people deal with an emergency. And instead, we get people who are like, I'm looking for something bigger and better. And this is how we do it.
For referral, questions, or more information about the Harbor Individual Placement Support Program, talk with your case manager or call 419-708-0288.